Welcome to Ecstatic Yoga. I am Grace, and we will be practicing a Surya Namaskar Sun Salutation today. See this? Straight. Maybe it's my mat that's not so straight. That looks a little more straight. And this is one of our first Surya Namaskara practices in our teacher training that I like to teach the basic Surya Namaskar C. And it is a very traditional. It's the one that I was first taught in India when I was there for 40 days, 40 nights. And it is one of the most basic traditional of the Surya Namaskar Sun Salutations. And there's also a moon, but we'll be doing the Surya Namaskar C, Sun Salutation C today. So let's begin the practice, knowing that we'll be doing a little bit, we'll be going a little slower on it at first, and we'll be moving through some alignment and just moving through a little slower today because we're really learning the Sun Salutation. But let's begin by getting in a comfortable position, feeling that earth underneath you, supporting your physical body, this physical aspect of yourself, just one aspect of this eternal, spiritual, non-physical self that you are. And beginning to take some nice deep breaths into the lower belly. Do a short grounding. We'll do a mindfulness meditation at the end of this practice. And taking a moment to just scan yourself, your inner being, your energy field, your body, the emotions, allowing everything to just be, not pushing anything away, not even needing to label it and describe it, just feeling into it, noticing where you are at. And taking this moment while you're with yourself and create an intention. Set that out, not only in the words, always in the present moment and in the positive. I have the career of my dreams, the relationship of my dreams, the home of my dreams, whatever it is that you're desiring. I have the joy and the peace. And dive into that joy, that peace, that emotional benefit, and allow yourself to feel it as you even see pictures of you in that intention, fully manifest. And letting that intention go with a this or better, this or better, this or better. Sometimes there's even better possibilities aligned with our intention and those emotions that we can't even see, we don't even know exist yet. So we'll open it up to all infinite possibilities. And gently and kindly open your eyes. And as we move through this practice, anytime you need to take a break, please feel free to sit, to stand, to lay down on your back. If you feel any pain, immediately back off. Yoga does not involve pain. We stretch the muscles and we hold a little and we move into that space of allowing. And we like to do the rubber band. We don't want to go into a 10 where we're stretching it out. We could snap or pull a muscle. And we're not here to be loosey-goosey on the couch eating potato chips either. So we're going to challenge ourselves at a nice gentle 6 or 7. Some people even an 8, but we're not forcing and striving. We're allowing the body to open, and the body actually opens more when we allow it and we just gently hold a gentle, comfortable stretch rather than forcing and striving and pushing our bodies too hard. And we're also going to be using the bandhas. We've been learning those, the bandhas. I use the bandhas in all my practices. Those are energy locks, and they seal in our energy. So as we move through a yoga practice, we're increasing our energy. We're bringing the life force and the dynamic energy force within us. We're raising that. And so these bandhas help so that that energy doesn't just leak out through these portals where energy can leak out. So the first bandha is our Mula bandha. That's our pelvic floor. We're not going to clench it, but we're going to engage it and we're going to feel a lift. Uddiyana bandha is this hara, this lower abdomen, and it's not clenched either because we're breathing into this belly. It's just going to be active. We're going to know it's there and can feel a lift as well. Jalandhara bandha, our third bandha, it's right here at the chin. We bring the chin in just slightly and the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. I usually have it forward, can even feel those top teeth for the Jalandhara bandha. And engaging all of them is Mala bandha. So we're going to be using Mala bandha whenever we can. Sometimes this, if we're in forward fold, it's a little hard to do the Uddiyana bandha. Don't worry about that. Just do the bandhas that feel naturally able. Mula bandha, we can usually always engage, and that is the primary bandha where the energy will leak out. So this Mula bandha is the most important, this pelvic floor, feeling a gentle engagement and a lift. Just knowing that. So it's also been called the Kegels, the Q Yin. There's other different names that you can call it. And so we will be using that through the practice. So let's come up to a standing position. We go into Surya Namaskar. Surya Namaskar is almost a warm up in and of itself, and it's a real great yoga warm up before a class where you might be doing warrior flow or even floor things, shake out a little bit. It's just nice because it's got the forward folds, the back bends, it's got some inversions, it's got a really nice mix of everything. So some twisting, wake up that spine a little bit. Beautiful. And let's take a moment to tap our thymus. This is actually a gland in our body, and it helps our immunity. And so it can often shrink as we get older. If we tap it a little bit every day, it can stay nice, its healthy size. It doesn't shrink if we give it activated a little bit, and that helps our immunity, our whole immune system as we grow and go through, mature through our life. So we'll just tap that just a little bit. Beautiful. Good, and we'll do a little cross crawl. Cross crawl is when we go from one side, right side to the left, and we can also add in a little extra. Even just a few minutes of this, integrating the right and left brain a day can help us. And we can also, if you're going, let's see here, from going here, you can, I don't know, I'm having a hard time, but that's good enough for today. There's others, we can do this. We'll do the shoulder, that's what I was thinking. That's another one. Nice. Okay. So we're warmed up just enough, and we're going to start with our Surya Namaskar. Now we're going to come to the front of our mats. You might be facing me. I like to go to the side because you can see a lot more of what's happening in a Surya Namaskar, but I'm going to be facing this way, and I'm just going to face you right here now just to show you, because we're moving through our loops. And this is an alignment principle from Anusara Yoga that I use in all the poses, actually, these loops. You can be engaging them. A loop or two may be able to be engaged in almost all of your poses. But in the mountain, we can engage all the loops. So the ankle loop, we feel a nice lift of the arches on the feet. If I lift my toes, it seems to lift my arches, and then you rest the toes down. Our feet are hip width apart. We put the fist to fist between them. As we hold that ankle loop, let's feel the weight of our body equally on both feet, backs, the heel, the fronts, sides.
Maybe even move around a little to see if you can find your center of gravity. Beautiful. We'll move into shin loop. So shin loop, the energy comes, it's going to come up the back of the thighs. So we're going to engage those calves. I'm sorry, the back of the calves, excuse me. Our gastrocnemius muscle, these calves, it's coming up. And then it's just below the knee that comes down the shin. So we engage the calf muscles for shin loop. And then thigh loop starts right there below the knees and it moves up. You feel the lift of the knees, nice engagement of your front thigh, your quadricep, and then it goes down the hamstring, the back of the thigh. Pelvic loop is probably a good one to actually be on the side here. So here I am a little out. We're going to come and bring this pelvis to neutral. So we don't want to go in too much or out too much. Just find that neutral point for our pelvic loop. And kidney loop, and we're going to feel a nice little small loop here. And then we're going to feel, when we're going to go into shoulder loop, it's going to start at the top of the ribs here. It's going to come up. And it's going to come all the way to the mouth. So you're going to feel that chin come parallel to the floor. It's going to go back. So you're going to feel the shoulders come back and then it goes down that back and you feel the shoulders drop down away from the ears. You feel that beautiful shoulder loop. And then our last loop, our skull loop, you're going to feel like the center of your skull has a string that's pulling your whole body up to the heavens, and you're going to feel a lengthening of the whole body, maybe even grow a quarter of an inch taller. See those spinal processes lengthening and some space in between. And we're going to inhale, bring those arms up into a nice extended mountain. Now this ways and variations. You can be up here like this. You can come into a nice little back bend. You can bring the hands together in your back bend. And a nice inhale. We love to inhale as we move up. And we're going to be moved. This is also Tadasana. We're going to move into Uttanasana, forward fold. And as we fold down, we're going to exhale. We're going to bring the arms way out to protect the lower back. You can stick that tailbone a little. You can also bring the hands on the hips. We're hinging at the hips. I'm going to show you the next folding, the next one. You can also have the hands nice close into the body. This is where you can actually use some blocks here, coming down to the earth. You can come down to some blocks. And as you practice and get better and a little more flexible, it takes time. You can bring the hands, thumbs near the toe, the little baby toes, and just relax the head. You can even shake it out a little, yes and no, very gently. A few variations, you can grab your elbows, bring the hands behind the calves and pull yourself in. You can bring the hands behind your back. And we're going to come into half forward fold. And there's a couple ways to do this. You can bring the hands right below the knees on the shins. You always want to feel a nice extension so the head is extending out away from the body. Feels really good. The other is you can bring the tips of the fingers to the floor. You can even do a block. That's a stretch. And then exhaling back down into your forward fold, Uttanasana, relaxing the head. And then we're going to inhale, lifting the head and the heart. We're going to bring that right leg back behind us. Feet are parallel to the floor. I'm reaching my back heel down towards the earth. So that's our foundation. We always set the foundation first, and then we work on alignment. So I'm going to come up. You can come up to the knee first and create some balance. And then now you can stay down. You can also drop a knee. If you're new at this, there are variations, or you can come all the way up into high lunge, Anjaneyasana. And the one thing we want to do is alignment. Now we've got our foundation set. We're moving into alignment. The knee is going to be right over the ankle. And because I brought this right leg back, it's pulled my right hip back a little. So you want to square those hips. Bring that right hip forward a little bit. And then bring the arms up into your high lunge. Asana. And we're going to engage the bandhas and we're going to take 3 breaths here. One more breath. And on your exhale, we're going to bring the hands back down. You can bring them to those blocks or down to the mat. Bring that left leg back into downward facing dog. Feet are about hip width apart. Shoulders, hands are spread a little tiny more than shoulder width apart maybe. And heels and heart are reaching towards the earth. So feel that. The head's going to be right between the hands. You can almost feel your ear is touching an arm between the arms. And let's engage those bandhas and breathe in this nice inversion. Raising the prana and life force. One more breath. Beautiful. And we're going to hinge into a plank position. I like to adjust my foundation a little and bring the feet back just a little for a nice full plank. You can drop the knees if you like, rest on the tops of the feet, or you can stay in a high lunge. And we're going to bend the elbows and try not to have those elbows jet out. Keep them in alignment. And we're going to come down just before we hit the earth. We're going to scoop up, roll over onto the tops of the feet into a beautiful up dog. Engage the bandhas and breathe. Thighs can be lifted up or resting. One more breath. And on the exhale, back into your downward facing dog. An interesting thing about the Surya Namaskar Sun Salutation is it goes back the same way as we came. So here we are in our downward facing dog. And engage those bandhas and let's breathe. Into the belly. Deep breaths. Slight external rotation in the arms, fingers spread. One more breath. Beautiful job. And on your next inhale, lifting the head and the heart, and we're going to bring that right foot up. Now, we can take lots of little steps. You can help with that, your hand, however it is, for you to bring that foot up between the hands. Now we're on the other side for our Anjane Asana, our high lunge. And coming back up, can find a Dristia spot. We're going to relax those shoulders down in that shoulder loop. Adjust, square those hips, have that knee. Now the knee can be a little behind the ankle. We just don't want it forward the ankle. That puts stress on the knee. 2 more breaths. Bandhas engaged. Beautiful. Inhaling. On your next exhale, we're going to bring the hands back down to either your blocks or the mat. That back foot can step or help that back foot up so it's between the hands again, feet hip width apart, and move into your forward fold, Uttanasana. And engage the bandhas and breathe. If a variation you like, you can move into it. Beautiful. Our next breath, we're going to come in. We're going to come up into that half forward fold. Feel that nice extension of the spine. Find the variation that you like best. And exhaling down into forward fold. And now we're going to come back up into our mountain. So on our way up, we want to again have our hands either out like angels on our hips or close into the body. And when we come up into our mountain Tadasana pose, we're going to be hinging up. We're going to lift the head and the heart first. This protects the lower back. The head weighs a lot, so now we don't have to worry about the lower back lifting the head up. And then we're going to do our hinge. So find your favorite way. The arms, it's very important in forward fold, coming up or down, not to have the hands forward, because this puts weight on the lower back, either way. And we'll come up into our beautiful mountain. You know, it's a little extended mountain with the back bend. And coming back up, and we're going to add some variations. So we're going to add a little side to side stretching. Feels so good. Well, maybe with this Surya Namaskar, I won't go into too many variations on this one for you. We'll be doing a lot of variations throughout the practices. For this one, let's just go through another Surya Namaskar, but this time we're going to go into our Uttanasana, from Tadasana to Uttanasana, and we're going to actually just roll the back down so you have a different experience. So when we do this, I like to just have the hands on the side, and you just begin to round the head first, and then begin to round the back. And so we're going down as we roll the spine down. That's beautiful. And taking the breath here. Relaxing the hand. And coming up into our half forward fold, feeling that nice extension of the spine out away from the body. And then exhaling back down into your forward fold. Relaxing the head. And then we're going to lift up, and we're going to move into our high lunge. Feet are parallel like railroad tracks. Beautiful. We always set the foundation first, then move into alignment. Squaring those hips, watching that knee so it's over the ankle, relaxing those shoulders down, gauging the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. And releasing the hands down, we're going to move into our downward facing dog. And that tailbone can lift up. Feel those thighs reach back, and the heart and the heels coming towards the earth. So you're really engaged. And we can move into the variation of walking the dog. One heel reaches up, the other presses down. Nice stretch on your calves. Going back and forth from side to side, keeping the breath flowing. And then coming back to center. Beautiful. And we are going to do a little variation here. We're in our plank position, and then chaturanga is that. I didn't actually say that last time. That is when we start to lower the body. So we lower the body, and we did up dog last time. So we're going to do cobra this time. So we're going to come all the way down and relax all the way down. Even bringing the forehead to the earth. So the palms of the hands are rooted into the mat, just around the shoulder area. And the first thing we do in our cobra
in all the poses set the foundation. So the part of our body that's connected to the earth is that pelvic area, the tops of the thighs, even the backs of the feet. And so we're going to press that pelvis into the earth, feel those thighs and the backs of the feet on the earth, especially pressing that pelvis in, because that's our foundation. That's our solid point of connection to the earth. And those elbows are going to be in towards the body. They're not going to jet out. And then with very little weight on our hands, you don't need to lift the hands. If the hands are just for stable, we're not using our hands to lift our body up. We're going to use those back muscles. And this is what's so wonderful about Cobra. Just a gentle lifting of the head and the chest. And engage the bandhas and breathe. This is a really good back strengthener. If you're not using your hands to lift your body, you're strengthening the back muscles. One more breath. Beautiful. And another nice variation, we're still in our sun salutation, is pushing into a child's pose at this time. And just taking a little break, a couple breaths. And then coming back to table so we can set up real easily and transition into our downward facing dog. So here we are in our table. The hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are under the hips. We're going to curl the toes under. We're going to lift those legs right up into our downward facing dog. Find your foundation and feel those heels and the heart come towards the earth. Thigh bones are back, tailbone. And engage the bandhas and breathe. Tailbone's actually curled under, but the thighs are back. That's the lines of energy. Heels and heart towards the earth. Head is relaxed. The arms, just a slight external rotation. Fingers spread. Beautiful. Next inhale, lifting the head and the heart. You can look right between your hands. And then we're going to invite that right foot. We can take steps. You can take one giant step. So that foot is between the hands. And that back thigh is engaged, always in that thigh loop. And we're going to come up onto the knees for stability. And then coming all the way up. Now, if you want to stay in a low lunge, that's okay too, or drop the knee. Those are variations that are just fine. Squaring those hips, getting that knee right in alignment with the ankle. And then I bring the arms up, relax the shoulders down. Engage the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. Nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to bring the hands back down to the mat and bring that back leg up into our Uttanasana forward fold, relaxing down. Find a variation if you like. A couple breaths here. Fully present to the self and sensation. Inhale halfway up. Lengthening of the spine, exhaling down. Now we're going to roll up again this time, show you a different variation. And so I'm not going to lift the head. The head's going to be the last to come up. I'm going to start to stack these lumbar vertebrae. And then I'm going to move to the thoracic as we roll up. And then my cervical are going to begin to straighten up. And that allows the head to be straight. That is a roll up. Two different. One is hinging at the hips.
And the other is rolling down with the spine. So let's bring those hands up into our mountain to conclude this Surya Namaskara. And we're going to move into a Surya Namaskara to breath. Who wants to do two? Just did two Surya Namaskara. So we'll do two to breath together. It moves a little faster, but we just do nice, long, slow, deep breaths, and we can work it very fine. So we're going to inhale into this mountain. You can come into a little back bend if you like. Exhaling forward fold. Find your variation. It's a little faster to hinge. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lunge, high lunge. You can keep the hands down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'm so sorry. Inhale, up dog. I get it the second time around. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half, forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up into your mountain, leading with that head first. We're going to do another one. Inhaling into mountain. Exhaling forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Got it right that time. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lunge, bringing the right leg up. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, mountain, lifting the head, the heart, all the way up. Bring those hands together in Anjali Mudra. Front of the heart, and taking a moment to notice the sensations in your body. Notice your heart beating. Beautiful job, I'm shaking out. We're going to do a nice easy balance. Everyone knows the tree, so we'll do a nice easy balance before we move down to the floor. So let's feel those feet hip width apart, connected to the earth. And we're going to bring all our weight, all our energy. I'm not going to mirror you today, so I'm going to be leaning on the opposite side that you are if you're on your right standing leg. So I'm bringing all my energy and all my weight into this right standing leg. This left leg, it's just hanging out. Very good. And so I want you to take a moment with this right leg. Actually imagine it is a tree trunk. This is your trunk. Solid, and see it go deep down into the earth, the roots spreading out to support you for this tree. And you can turn this left leg, and we're going to turn the hip out. You're going to almost see my inner thigh here, and rest that heel, the left heel on the right leg. Now this is a beautiful beginner tree pose right here. The majority of our weight is on the right foot. There's a teeny bit in the toe to keep our balance. And then there's options and variations from here. You can stay here if you like, then you can bring that foot up a little. You do not want to be right at the knee joint, so you can bring it up higher to the inner thigh. And you can even go into lotus. I find lotus is actually a little easier than the thigh. And find a drishti, a spot that's not moving, you can gaze at for a few breaths here. Engage the bandhas. One more breath. And releasing down, releasing the foot first, and then the hands. Beautiful job. We'll go on to the other side. You're going to find you're better at one side than the other. Find I'm more stable on my right, so I would like to start on the right, then the left. We're going to bring all the weight and all our energy and our attention here on this left leg for a moment here. Imagining it is a tree trunk. Roots are going down, they're spreading out. We're going to take this right leg and we're going to open it up again and rest that right heel on the left leg. And bring those arms up. And here you are in your tree. And you can be a coniferous pine or spruce. You can be a beautiful deciduous like an oak or a maple. You decide. And if you want a variation for your foot, you can go into that. You go up higher or even into lotus. And find your drishti, a point in front of you that's not moving, you can gaze at. One more breath. And if you fall out, just come back. Releasing down. Good job. Beautiful job. Let's bring those hands to the heart and honor yourself for that balancing of body and how it reflects the balancing of the mind and the soul, and the yoga of yoke becoming one with all aspects of our being. And we're going to move into a yoga mudra, brings us down to the floor. So we're going to clasp the hands behind our back. I'll do it this way. And you can open up the shoulders and chest. Feels really good. And we're going to begin to hinge the hips down. And you can raise those arms up to what feels comfortable for your shoulders, and dropping the head in a nice inversion here. The heart is the highest organ. So this pose, the intention is really honoring that heart, that entry point of the soul. And engaging the bandhas and breathe. And on your next exhale, releasing the hands and bringing them down to the mat. And we're going to come down and we're going to come all the way onto our backs. Do a couple little stretches before we move into our savasana, and then a mindfulness meditation. So let's bring those knees into the chest and just rock back and forth to release and relax that lower back. We're going to just do some things with our legs. Now, if you need a strap, this is where a strap can be very helpful. Or if you don't need a strap, you can just use your hands. So if you have a strap, you use it. You can put it right on the arches of the feet. And we're going to gently pull them in towards you. Now, without a strap, you can just bring those legs in towards you. Feel that nice stretch. And then if you can reach the outside, otherwise you can use your strap.
And you can widen those legs as much as you can. And then pull them in towards your body. Nice stretch. If you don't need a strap, you can just reach the outer edges of the feet and pull them in towards the body. And I like to sometimes rock back and forth here. And then we'll bring the legs back and bring those knees back into the chest. And we're going to release this right leg and we're going to bring it down towards the right, straight on the earth. Now this is knees to chest, a single knee to chest at a time. We're doing single knee. This right thigh, the line of energy is it's going in, it's pressing in towards the earth. So it's active. It's not relaxed, it's actively pressing in towards the earth. And simultaneously, this left knee, I'm gently pulling. And a good thing to do is to bring that knee out a little wider so we don't want to press too hard against our rib cage, and pull that leg in more towards the armpit than the ribs. So we protect our body. So feel those two lines of energy, left leg coming in, right thigh pressing to the earth. Engage the bandhas and breathe. One last breath. And on the exhale, releasing the leg. And we'll switch to the other side. So my left leg is, the left thigh is pressing towards the earth. The right knee, I'm going to bring it out a little bit. And I'm going to pull it in towards the body, towards that right armpit. So you're going to feel two simultaneous lines of energy. And engaging the bandhas, and let's bring in the prana with the breath. One more breath. Beautiful, releasing that leg. And let's just shake out a little bit. Beautiful. Good, and let's move into a half shoulder stand. So we're going to bring those knees up, and you can take those legs and bring them so we're in a nice straight up, nice little inversion, and flex the feet, extend the toes, feel the sensations in your body and the legs. And then you're welcome to stay here, feel that cool, light waterfall of light energy pouring into you, or you can move up into your half shoulder stand. Bring the hips up, keeping those hands, the rest right on that pelvic girdle. See if you can see those feet right straight over the head. Beautiful. Nice inversion, really good for these veins in the legs to get a nice little vacation. Nice little variation for this is to bring foot down, and you can bring it down to a block or the earth. Also bring it to the side. We'll just do this right now. And then take these feet and hinge them. Now, there's a couple ways to do this plow. I like to keep the legs parallel to the earth to protect the lower back. I can bring them down to the earth, but it puts a little stress on the lower back. So I leave it like this. So you figure out what feels really good for you in your plow. And one more breath here. And then we're gonna curl those legs. Bring the hands down to the mat, nice and gently, rolling from the upper vertebrae, the lower, rolling out. We'll move into a fish now. So stretching the legs out. We're going to take one hand, palms down at a time underneath the buttocks. Bring, scoop those arms and elbows close into the body. And on the next inhale, pressing into the elbows and forearms, lifting that chest up as high as you can, letting the head relax down. And then gently come down to relax top of the head onto the earth. And the back bend is in the upper thoracic, heart opening back. And let's engage those bandhas and breathe. One more breath. And on your exhale, straightening that body out, head and the back, it's nice straight spine, and then releasing those hands from under the buttocks. And let's bring the knees into the chest, rock back and forth a little bit. Let's bring the feet together in a nice little Baddha Konasana, supine Baddha Konasana, rocking back and forth. Gentle pull of the feet in towards the body. Really basking and enjoying the stretch, the sensations in the body. Keeping that breath flowing in the belly. And let's bring those feet out to move into our final pose, our happy baby, kicking around, whatever feels good for you. Just having fun like you did when you were a little baby. Beautiful. And then we're going to bring the feet to the earth. The knees are up. We're going to move into a couple releases. And the first release I call hula. And if you hold on to your hips, you can feel those hips. We're going to move the right hip, swivel that down, reaching towards the right heel. And the left hip is coming up towards the left armpit. And then we're going to swivel. Switch it up. So the right hip is coming up towards the right armpit. The left is reaching down towards the heel. Everything is flat on the earth. Nothing lifts up. It's just a swivel. And the next one we're going to lift up with this one. Sacrum. It's our axis point here, and it's swiveling, but it's flat on the earth. Just feel that releasing of the lower back, how good that feels. Fully present in your body. Observing and enjoying the sensations. Bandhas are still gently engaged. The breath is in the belly. Coming to center. Move into our hip pointers. So I'm going to root this right hip into the earth while I point the left hip. It's kind of diagonal. And relaxing it down, rooting the left hip into the earth while I point the right over these clasps. And back and forth in your hip pointers. Keeping the breath flowing, finding a gentle pace. We're slowing down, so we don't need to move fast. Just releasing that lower back for our savasana. Coming back to center. And our next release, we're going to be doing a cat-cow supine on our backs. So feel that small of the back press into the earth, and the tailbone's going to tuck under. I can't even get my hands under there. And then we're going to move that. So that is our cat. When we curl that Halloween cat back, it's pressing into the earth. And now we move in, and that's flexion. We're going to move into extension of the spine. The front of my spine is going to be, spinal processes are going to be extending. I'm going to feel that arch in my back. You may or may not be able to get the hands underneath, but you've got that nice little back bend arch in that lower lumbar and the lower thoracics. And that's extension. So we're just going to move back and forth into flexion, our cat, and extension, our cow. And taking your time, really feel the sensations. You might even want to, I like sometimes when I'm in cow, to add just a tiny, gentle hula. Keeping the breath flowing, engaging the bandhas. And then coming back to center. I'm going to take the feet with the knees still up. We're just going to move the feet to the wide edges of the mat. Knees are still up. And we're going to drop one knee at a time. Last little, this is working our hips a little bit here into the center. Just releasing everything for final Savasana. Keeping the breath flowing. And one more, and coming back to center. And we're going to bring those feet back together. And let's drop the knees all the way over to one side or the other, as far as is comfortable for you. And you can either bring the legs together and bring them gently back and forth, or you can take the top leg, the top knee, and bring it all the way up and gently over to the other side. I like this point when you're wide open, kind of take a moment to feel that. And then the bottom leg can come over. And kind of a supine Baddha Konasana when your legs are wide open. Enjoying the sensation. Breath is in the belly. Slow, repetitive movements. Gentle releases. We'll do one more time on either side. And then move back up and we get ready for our Savasana. So moving into what they call the corpse pose or Savasana pose. Just relaxing out. I like to have the feet a little further apart, the arms a little away from the body, palms up, so I'm receptive. Feet are out. You need something under your knees or under your head or a blanket or socks. This is a time to take really good care of yourself and get comfortable as we release all effort and we move into receiving all the integration of the benefits of the pose. Resting in that silent stillness. Letting that entire body relax into the earth. Letting everything go. And relaxing into these few moments of silent stillness. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly. As you come back into the body, moving the fingers, moving the toes, moving those hips a little bit, stretching out the arms and the legs. And rolling over to one side or the other. In one breath here. Acknowledging yourself for this practice. And then coming up to a seated position. And I'm going to move directly into our 10-minute mindfulness meditation. So mindfulness meditation is single-pointed focused meditation. And this is really helpful in keeping our minds quiet, stilling them, practicing that practice of stillness. And it's an ongoing practice in our practice because the thoughts and the thought disturbances are just always there waiting for us if we allow them. So we have to practice every day as often as we can to practice mindfulness meditation or the meditation of your choice. If you want a hand mudra, you can do that. I mean, Dakini, there's Chin. There's many will be going through them all. Anjali, Vishnu, we have lots. Find the hand mudra where you like to be, comfortable position. Allow the spine to be as straight as possible. And put that cushion right at that tailbone so that your hips are nice and level and comfortable. Acknowledging that earth underneath you, supporting your body. If you'd like to engage any of the bandhas, especially that Mula bandha, you can. And we're going to be breathing into the belly, the lower abdomen, diaphragmatic breathing. Diaphragm, lifting that diaphragm up, not in the chest. Balloon in our belly. And our focus is our breath. Mindful breathing into our lower abdomen. Triggering our relaxation response, the parasympathetic nervous system to be dominant. So our nervous system is calm. All your focused attention, awareness on the breath, the simplicity of that breath. In breath, out breath. Your attention wanders and thoughts intrude on your silent stillness. Just bring yourself back kindly and gently to the breath. Sometimes it helps people to say inhaling, in breath as you inhale and exhale or out breath. Some people like to count their breaths. Whatever helps you stay focused on the breath. All your attention on the breath. Notice your mind is wandered. Just kindly, gently guide it back to this moment in the breath. One more minute of our 10-minute mindfulness meditation, and we're going to real focused on this breath this last minute. Few more breaths. Gently and kindly bring yourself back to the body, scanning your whole being, maybe even noticing any shifts from when you scanned at the beginning of practice. And bringing yourself back to that intention and feeling those emotions, seeing some pictures, feeling this intention, positive present moment. And releasing that intention with a this or better, this or better, this or better. And we conclude with a namaste. I honor the place in you the place in me. It is one. It is the same. It is aligned with love, perfect peace, perfect presence. And when you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this daily practice, Surya Namaskara, with a mindfulness meditation. Wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day. Please check out Ecstatic Yoga, that studio for our teacher trainings and retreats.